It's very slow, it says.
It says it's
So we've got Michelle Shelton there. Hi, Michelle. Lovely to see you, darling. Just wait a minute. We're trying to get some teething problems happening here. Now, Wilma, can you see any comments at all?
Yeah, let me just turn off my volume on my iPad here.
Yeah. Yeah, turn the volume down and it should, otherwise you're going to get feedback.
My personal page, I'm going to share it out to my business page.
Yes. Yeah. Because, oh, hi, John. Battery so low. John, we've been saying the same thing. John, can you tell us, can you see both our screens? We should have, I'm on the left on the black, Wilma is on the beautiful turquoise blue. So can you tell us if you can see two screens? And I just want to see if Wilma can see the comments. Can you see Michelle and John there?
I do not see any comments right now.
Okay. Have a look through YouTube. Go to YouTube itself or click on the link itself and see if it...
I'm not looking through my iPad right now because I'm still sharing out. So
okay. A few people join us. We've got Bernadine, Elaine, Chantal, Desiree, John, T-Barb. Hi, T-Barb. Lovely to see you, darling. We're just going through some teething problems, guys. Just trying to see that Wilma can see all your comments as well. Because at the moment, I'm the only one that does.
It's so that is still loading. So,
oh gosh, thanks, Bernadine. It's nice to see that it's working. We'll be right with you guys. It's just we're trying to get some things sorted. Oh, Camilla's joined us. Lovely to see you.
Everyone, welcome all replay viewers and. Share it out to some of the other groups, to the T group and over to, are you in Ray's group and Mel's group?
Yes, I'm there.
I'm having a hard time getting my own. Oh, here we
page up. Lovely. We've got, what do we call it? Mercury retrograde. We've had disasters all week and that's really playing havoc with electrical goods.
It's not Mercury retrograde, but we have a stellium of planets in Aquarius, and Aquarius rules technology and all that electronic.
Stuff so that explains it.
So it's kind of giving that extra push to all that.
Well, while you're fiddling with that, I'll just tell people a little bit about Wilma. Wilma is, her business is called Wilma's Alternative Solutions. And Wilma is a tarot reader, Lenormand reader, tea reader. She is an astrology master and does Reiki.
Astrology master, not even close. I'm just a beginner.
Oh, she says that she actually got her astrology cards today too, so you're going to see those in action, which I can't wait to actually see in action too. And she also is a doula, and some people don't know what a doula is. So can you explain what a doula is?
I am not a licensed doula, but I am a practicing doula. I work in both birth and death. But a doula, actually, the word doula is Greek for, well, now I'm getting tongue-tied, but it's basically another word for servant. And it is to be with a person. But a doula is basically a support person. So a birth basically a professional labor coach, and then a death doula who basically does the same thing as a professional.
So it's to assist somebody breaking into the world and assist others going out
as well. But it's also just the family. We're there to support the whole family. We're not there to take the place of anybody. We're there to support people through the whole process.
But it's supporting in the spiritual world.
Exactly. And that's why I'm into all rites of passage. So
Yeah, which is good. Yeah, which is good. So, Wilma, like I said, she's got a lot of toys there to play with today. We've got. Can you see comments yet, Wilma? No.
I am just now sitting down in a chair. I just now finally shared out the videos. Got the iPad working. I can see comments on the iPad.
Oh, fabulous!
And
okay.
The map straightened out so that.
Okay. Can you see Facebook comments and YouTube comments, or just the Facebook?
You know, I hadn't thought about that. I just.
We're getting there.
Okay, let's see. I see Chantel, Bernadette, Elaine.
Yep. So you've got all the blue Facebook links.
Okay, so Bernadine, Marissa, Kelly, Sheila.
And yep.
So
yep.
The only ones I'm seeing. So
yes, I'm seeing the YouTube as well. So as long as you can see some of them. So Paula's in the room, Nancy's in the room, Sandy Chamberlain, T-Bub's in YouTube room, Betty Diva is in YouTube, Christina Marie is in Facebook room. So what we're doing today, guys, is because there's not a huge number, we can actually do some random readings. So if someone's got a question, certainly hit us with a question. So, yeah, Camilla, we have had dreadful problems with my internet here. It says my vocals are a bit rough. Again, our internet is really, really crappy, so that's not very helpful to us. So we've got Jan Breck in the YouTube room. So I'm just going to go down. Someone's asked, Bernadine wants to know about work opportunities ahead of her. What lies ahead of her work opportunities? So do you want to do that? Seems mine's so choppy.
Sure. Now before we get, did you share out the T group and all the groups?
I already had it in there last night, but I didn't share it out to there because they can't comment from there. When we share it to groups, they will see it, but we may not see their comments.
Well, yeah, but they can see the video and then they can join in.
Yes, yes.
I think it's worth sharing out the video. Do you want me
to? I would do that while you have a look at Bernadine's question. So. All right, Bernadine's wanting to know what's going on in the career ahead.
Perfect. And if anybody else wants to share it out, they can share it out to you. Share it out to your personal page or
wherever you feel
wherever
fit.
Is just as long as it's safe to do so. Please don't share it to any groups that don't want to be spammed with any things.
Well, that's just right because they're not picking us.
I hate getting those. I don't want to be a part of those. Groups that don't want to be a part of that. But but share it to your personal page or wherever it's welcome.
I'm writing down some questions while you're doing that.
Work opportunities lay ahead. I take it you're unemployed at this topic.
Bernadine is an Aussie gal who is employed here as far as I knew.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that, please?
Bernadine is an Aussie lady, and from what I know, Bernadine is working. She's in high-end professional arena, but she's wanting to know what lies ahead. Gotcha.
Opportunities are good. I love employed. I love when people are asking about opportunities because, it's going higher is always a good thing. Let's see what that flipper was. The flipper was the butterfly, which is always great. Network. The first thing that comes to mind is networking. Always keep that social circle flowing, making sure that you're getting out there into new social circles. So don't stay in that same social circle. Don't get stale. Make sure that you're passing that card around and getting into new faces, new people. Flutter, flutter, flutter. Obviously, you're never going to find new opportunities in the same circle. You've got to grow your wings. So let's see what's going. I'm going to keep going because that's just a flipper. And I'm going to slow my breath down because even I've got to catch my breath. I'm just getting so excited because I get excited with opportunities. Okay, here we go. All right, there we go. Ooh, I love this. And again, this kind of piggybacks what I was saying about don't stay in that space. The dog on the right side of the grave says, you know, old social circles. You know, it kind of reminds me of that the Girl Scout song of, you know, keep your, you know, oh crap. Thanks, Mercury. It's like, can anybody help me with the Girl Scout song about, you know, it's like, you know, something about your friends, like, you know, this one's silver, you know, this one's gold, you know, but you keep your friends close. No, that's not the one, not the friends close, the enemy's closer. No, it's like this one's silver, this one's golden. Your friends are always going to be your friends. Come on, somebody help me here.
I don't know. I got this out
on my tongue, but whatever. The point is that your friends are always going to be your friends, but you still got to reach out and find new ones. So stale social circles, reach out and find new ones. You got a party hardy, girlfriend. So we got the monkey business on the light side of grave. So the monkey is, he's partying. He's also doing everything. He's got his hands in everything. He does everything. He's multitasking. So he's the master multitasker. He's also the one who proves I can do everything. Excuse me. He's my ultimate card of what I was raised to prove to everybody that I can do everything in the corporation and then some. I am the most valuable player and then some. I can do it all. And you don't want to lose me, babe. So this is the card of you can show them I can do this, I can do that. I've done it. I've been there, and I'm going to do that and more. And I'm doing it all, juggling it all. And I've got the 3-ring circus. This is my circus. These are my monkeys. These are my squirrels. I've got them all in a row. Ding, ding, dong. So you find these new circles, and you've got to show them that you are the ringmaster. But new social circles, keep your friends close, find new social circles through that, and transform and show them your new talents, new skills, and how all these tools that you have in this toolbox. It feels like you've got a toolbox ready to, and they need to know this. So that's what I have for you.
So within the organization, or you mean
expand? No. This is like expanding, going like everything. This is do everything and more. Like anything, like everything you've ever dreamed of, like just whatever, reach for the stars, like whatever you want to do, multitask. You can do everything and more, whatever you want to do, go for it.
Yeah. So, because I know Bernadine had she relocated from Melbourne to another state, and it's in a high position of management, I suppose. Bernadine will be able to fill me in on that. But yes, she's lucky. She moved to a nice state too, nice and warm. So,
and this to me,
further?
I'm surprised that you didn't remark on this. I mean, this right here shows that transformation right there. So embracing that transformation, maybe getting, keeping contacts, making sure that you get those references, keeping those references, don't lose those references, making sure. I mean, obviously we're living in a digital age, resumes, all that kind of thing doesn't really get lost, but finding a way to make sure that like somehow
she's laughing at your monkey.
like for me, when I want an apartment, or I'm going to leave it at this because it's the analogy that's coming to me. When I want an apartment, I don't just hand in the application with the references written down with the information, or the online application with the information. I send the information, and then I also attach a PDF or a written document of the letters of reference from my past landlords, so that they don't even have to do the footwork. So this, here, when you're talking about having moved, and this showing friends in the past, I would say don't lose those contacts and make more of an effort to make sure that the resume is solid. So I'm glad that you brought that up.
Fabulous.
And bring up, like, you know, so they don't have to do as much footwork. Bring as much as you can. Like I said, you know, like show, you know, bring as much as you can to show and prove to be able. To me, that would, like, you know, I'm not quite sure how that translates in that business sense, but whatever you can do to make those connections to make it easier.
Karen Dean's put a lovely comment there, and this might ring a bell for things. She says, make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver, one is gold.
Yes, that one.
That one. Very true. Very true.
It kind of reminds me of, like, you know, it's like in the resume, kind of, you know, using technology to like link QR codes, you know, doing whatever you can to make sure that things don't get lost, or that things are like put to the front. I don't know what else you have to add to this, Karen.
Yeah. Let me have a look. See. Actually, I'm gonna. This is the new pastel deck that I have, guys. This is a watercolor deck. And it was just one of those very simple imagery, all on watercolors background. And I just thought it was a nice pale peaceful. It's unusual for me to have the lighter decks. It does. I tend to walk always on the darker side. But I thought, no, I'll just go light this time. So I just want to add to that. We got house, we got bat, and we got cane. That's kind of interesting, because where you've got dog and I've got a cane. Cane is, again, assistance with people. And even look at this, house here would tell me something literally when you feel comfortable and secure. You've also got the bat, which means use your head wisely. Bat means high achiever, high intelligence, and sometimes you can even set the bar a little too high for yourself, and then you literally beat the shit out of yourself. Sorry, guys, I do swear. But they would tell me where you feel the most comfortable and secure, you will rise. This, I think, is really interesting, because cane often means a support network from older people, and it generally is a masculine energy, which is like there is somebody good. Coming back to what you're saying about referees, yes, we don't often have them, but here would just tell me there's an older person, preferably a male, who will also help you find your feet. They know what you've got. And I still look at that as, yeah, good support network, literally from an older person, more likely a male, who can see your intelligence and where it's going to take you. So that's where I'm getting. It's interesting, the similarities, even though different parts to what I've got. So both not bad. Like Wilma says, good referees. So monkey, I can't help but feel, though, monkey I tend to see, and especially where it's looking to the grave, although it's looking to the lighter side, but it's almost like who is undermining you. And because of the light side of the grave, it's almost like, are they cloaking, or are they showing a positive light, but yet they're still being a little bit underhanded. Yeah, it's literally what they say, the monkey on your back. I do like that Girl Guide quote. I got kicked out of Girl Guides, so I was naughty. There's a few people, I've been writing questions down as we go now, and I've got, in no particular order, guys, I've got John, and John I know lives in Hawaii. He's a lovely young man that I do love dearly. And he's talking about the synchronicity of between dreams and real life. Now, I'm going to let you do astrology stuff on that one, because I actually think that's right up your alley. What do you think?
I think, well, I mean, just like one last thing to say about Oh, look at that. As I'm shuffling, it's just shuffling to get
You got
like
a jumper again.
clearing the energy from that deck, and like the dog jumped out.
Isn't that interesting?
So
Being loyal.
But I mean, but to one last thing to add to that, in terms of both readings, one thing that I've noticed, I mean, when it comes to management, especially women in management, they really have to put that masculine, you know, or kind of really that determined, aggressive or assertive foot forward. So it makes sense to see those assertive cards.
To be ballsy chick, in other words.
Yeah. Or, you know, very bold in general and just kind of, you know, very prove it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Put me back on track. Where are we at?
Right. John is a beautiful young man who lives in Hawaii, and his question was about, he keeps getting synchronicity between what he dreams about and what's actually happening in his life, in real life. So it's the two worlds between dream world and real life, and he's trying to work out why synchronicities.
Why there's synchronicities?
Yeah. Let me find him. Hang on, because I'm just going through. I just pulled it down.
Me on YouTube, because I get a feeling he's not in my feed.
No, he's in the YouTube. He says,
Yeah.
I'll read it out exactly. It says, I've been seeing synchronicity lately through dreams and then in real life. What is the message the universe is trying to tell him?
Okay, so I haven't shuffled up the deck. I'm pulling it out, and I don't, you know, this is not you know, it's the hex banishment card. Now, it's nothing, you know, hex, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't mean curse in a bad way. But, you know, we're going to focus on the banishment part of here, or the side of this. So my first question is, John, what are your dreams actually about?
Okay, I can scroll down.
Just a little bit. I mean, we don't have to go into like a long story here, but like, you know, just a vague, you know.
I'm just waiting for, it's about a 10-second delay. It says,
theme here is that, is it something, you know?
Oh, listen to this. It says he's seeing fresh patches of clovers, and he sees them as he is walking. So
Okay.
like fields of clover.
Okay, so that fits in with the card that I'm seeing. All right, perfect. So clovers, we're gonna go right back into symbolism. Screw the cards right now.
Okay.
Right back. Clovers, whether we're talking about Lenormand or tea, great. Go back to and it goes right back to the banishment card we pulled. Goes back to new life, new beginnings, new starts. And that to me relates back to the banishment. Banishment talks about new things, or it talks about clearing the way. So Clovers is talking about new things. So to me, the synchronicity right off the bat is there's kind of a spring, it's got a spring cleaning kind of feel. It has a kind of a smudge the way, you know, get ready for something new. Clear the way for something new, clear the way for. So putting that aside, that's just my impression for like straight off the bat. Now I'm going to put that aside, and then we're just going to ask the cards, and then we'll see what's going on, and then we'll pull some cards, charms, excuse me, to go along.
Sandra Montgomery seeing patches of purples and violets too. Interesting.
Well, purples and violets are relating to spirituality.
Exactly.
And again, Hearth Homecoming, for me, there's a delay, so I'm not quite sure if this is centered, but I think it is. But Hearth, again, relates to the home, and it relates to smudging and preparing the home and the sacredness of one's home, and the protection, you know, just everything, just like everything has a place, everything in its place. And, you know, the matriarch, or, you know, whether it's the matriarch, the patriarch figure in the house, it's about this is the respect I have for my home, my family. This is what I've built. You know, this is and it goes back to the cleaning and the building, and this is what I'm making, and this is what I'm providing for my house. And so this goes all along with what I'm saying. So
yeah, so he's
I'm starting to get tongue-tied. So grabbing some charms, and there we go. I feel like I'm throwing too many charms. So, you know, there's one left in my hand. That said, because there's one left, I'm going to look at it. It's the passport. And that, to me, again, speaks of journeys. What are you doing, dog? It's like, as I speak of journeys, like I hear this thudding across the room. And is it The Conjuring?
And I've got two cats at my feet. You've got the dog and the cats.
So it's like, no, there's nothing weird that needs, you know, it's like, it's nothing weird that needs displaced. It's just my dog, like dirt. But no, so we have the passport, which speaks of the journeys and cycles. And but to me, the passport goes again back to the synchronicities of from this world to that world, the dream world to reality, and going from here to there, and what we're bringing forth. And you know, we sow a seed from this side to that side, and then again, you know, it's like, you know, what are we bringing forth? It kind of reminds me, it's like, what are you putting in the wishing well, and what are you bringing back up? And that
so it's kind of like his dream worlds. It's almost like premonitions. He's dreaming. He's
also sowing the seed. It's almost sowing the seed, and it's plant manifestation. And it's throwing, it's like the dark deep down there, and then bringing it up into the life. It's like the dream world of winter, and then here's the spring. So we have of the ground coming up into, what are you bringing up, and what are you bringing into life, and what do you, like I said, what are you bringing into your world, what are you bringing into fruition, into your house? So this goes back to the banishing, the cleaning, the spring rituals, bringing into, you know, new life.
You guys are coming into spring soon, aren't you? Yes.
Are. So as long as it's on this hemisphere, but you know, either way, whichever hemisphere you're going into, there's still so there's this transition happening. And again, so you have this cycle here, you've got the hook, and I feel like it's like going down into this wishing well, going and bringing up. So you have the synchronicity coming and going, and then you have the house charm. So again, this goes back to the hearth. I feel like there's a lot of cleaning in the house, like spiritual cleaning of the house. And again, we have the circle charm, which again to me speaks of the spiritual and the cycle of how everything relates from the spiritual and the world back to the material. So everything is connected, and you know, clean it so it brings forth in the highest good. And this is, you have the graduation hat, so it's bringing forth lessons. So again, you have two hearth cards, you have all these messages of coming across. You know, you have the hook coming across, you have the passport coming across, you have this coming across, we've got the banishment, the hearth coming across, and finally we've got the hat. And this to me, you know, again, it's a student, so he's learning the lessons. So pay attention to the signs, how they relate, because what you said about synchronicity is exactly important, or that's exactly the right word, because these are keys or important lessons. So clear out what isn't needed, or clear out, you know, the dead branches, you know, as Karen would say, to make room for the new stuff, and to make room for the new, to make room for the best stuff to grow. I guess to make room for your highest good, I think is the best way I would put it with those.
Okay, and I'll go to next question. I've got Karen Dean, who's the lovely lady at Coppydale one old friends and new friends, and one silver, one gold. Karen's asking, will my kids get through this? Now, I'm not sure get through this, what that actually means. So whether it's either family or schooling or getting through COVID, I've laid out curiosity, but Karen Dean, can you just give me get through this as in get through what? Because cards mean different things for different areas, different topics. I'm just looking, and I'll just wait the 10 seconds or so I can see what she's meaning. She said get through this. Okay, COVID. That's what we're doing. All right, I laid out curiosity, and curiosity is a separate reading system in its own right. This one I just got out my magic and mystery, and it has its own little charms and little dice. And so I'm just going to, I'm just grabbing my dice, and we're using the dice as the starting point. So let's have a look at will the kids get through the thing. So I'm not sure if you can see them. We've got 6 and 5 is 11, another 6 is 12, and so it's position 17 that we're starting on. So we have 18 placements. Each one has a picture under it as well as what's under this card. So I'm starting in position 17, and we're actually telling or writing a storyline. And I keep forgetting, guys, if you want to jot down Karen Dean, because I can see time ticking over here. I'm not sure if Wilma can. So I try and remember what time I started. So Karen Dean, you're already starting at 31 minutes. Okay. So what's going on with the kids? Will I get through this? This is actually a really lovely layer, because you've got horseshoe and the dots. Horseshoe is about lots of quick changes. It is a good luck sign, which means, yes, going through things in a positive way, very fast moving. And you've got the goblets, which means the coming together or mini victories, mini celebrations, which is actually quite nice. Now, this system is, you notice there's colours on the teacups and a number. I'll bring that up to show you. So we have different rows. It's pink row, green row, blue row. That's why you're seeing the blue cup here. So I'm going up to the pink or burgundy, maroon, whatever you like, row, which is top right, and I'm going to card number 4, which is here. So we've started off pretty good. So the sword here would tell me something that does happen fairly quickly. Sword, again, is really, don't fall upon the sword. What is claiming your power, and what is it that they need to deal with? So the next card is actually very important of what is layering on the sword. So we have 4. And we come back to goblets, which comes right back to where we are. We've only turned 3 cards. And as you can see, this is what we call complete the chain. And to see them complete the chain there, it's almost like, okay, they're starting off quite good, quick changes. Again, this can be around gatherings or small gatherings, groups of people. Then we've gone up to the sword, which tells us what is it they may need to reduce or cut out. And it's funny, it comes back to the goblets. So I'd look at that and say they need to probably keep their circulation amongst people a little bit tighter rather than mingling with larger crowds of people. But I don't see these as bad. And I would say, as far as the question goes, will they get through this? I would say, yes, they will get through it. But again, don't be too hasty in making quick decisions, because it's almost like I keep feeling cut some of the socials, therefore. I don't know how old your children are. I'm actually just going to draw charms on top of it. We have the witch's hat. We've also got the pig, which is a good sign of abundance. And we've got the eye. And this is a hideous eye. I'll go on in a minute. So I'd look at those. Witch's hat often, and there's a ship, I can barely see it. Witch's hat often means allow the magic to unfold. And it often means, what are you creating behind the scenes yourself? So they would tell me, again, these are smart kids, but they're probably not seeing some of the good stuff that's within them to be able to make conscious decisions. You've got the ship here, which again would tell me things move very slowly around them. Pig is a sign of abundance. It actually means great prosperity and abundance. And the eye here just tells me about them opening up the senses. I would still say they will do all right, but they may need to reduce the circle of people that they may mingle with in order to get through this better. I'm not seeing them go down like a lead balloon, but I just look at it. It's opening up senses, opening up the mindset of what they should do to improve their options. What do you say, Wilma?
With that ship and the sword, I would smack them if they tried to socialize.
So I missed that. They meant to what, socialise?
I said with that ship and the sword, I would smack them if they tried to socialize.
Hear that, Karen?
But the thing, but I mean, I'm within reason. I mean, you know, do things safely, but
Yeah.
definitely with the cards, the sword and the goblets. I actually pulled out my curiosity to go through all the symbols to say what card would you use to say medicine, because the goblets and the sword to me looked like take your power, you know, use what you have in your control
Mm.
to take your medicine, you know.
Yeah. Well, goblets as in what you ingest.
Yeah, so to take your medicine, or you know, to take your vitamins, to do what you can do to, you know, so take your medicine, take your vitamins, and wear your mask, and
Yeah.
and that to me is kind of reaffirmed with the eye, and but yeah, so sword in a good way is, you know, take your control and use that in a good way. You know, use your, you know, protect yourself. But I definitely see that it in this, especially the eye, also is kind of alternative medicine, going back to using your vitamins, using what you can, um, what you can control.
Yeah. True. True. I'm not sure how old the children are. So, okay. Like I said, look at this hideous looking eye. And every time I get it, it's one of those you either love it or you hate it. It's ugly as far as I'm concerned, but it is also ugly but a beautiful charm in itself. And I'll just explain what it is, and you'll notice on the back, I actually cut it off. Can you believe it that this was an earring? And when I saw them, I thought, oh, they're hideous as an earring. You wouldn't see me dead in those. But I thought, what a great charm to add in the pocket. So, yeah, and that's like I said, to me it was a hideous, ugly charm.
I would have imagined
But
in, but not an earring. Oh,
yeah, I know it's crazy. Yeah, no, it's really gross. But like I said,
but
it makes a great
with
charm.
COVID, we're gonna get through this one way or another.
Yeah, I think so too.
We'll get through.
I have, because I've just been writing down bits and pieces, and I've got, like I said, no particular order. Where am I? Sorry, Nancy is Nancy, which you'd know Nancy. Her kitty's gone missing, and she's
Yeah.
wanting to know a little bit more about Kitty. So, let me just have a look. You know what? I'm just going to go charms with missing Kitty, and I can imagine the distress because I'd be in an absolute case if that was me with my girls. So I'm just going to have a look.
You know, don't mind my noises. It's not groans of negativity. It's
It's the dog.
I'm actually getting a bit of a spirit feeling on my left side, and I don't know who
For
that.
Nancy's kitty.
I hope it better not be Nancy's kitty.
Okay. I'm just putting them up here so it's easier to see.
But Nancy's kitty that it doesn't necessarily. I mean, you know, people can be alive and well and still be hanging on my left side.
Yeah. These are the charms. I've got the pipe, that's the male gender sign. And we've got muscle arm. We've got the hand with the heart in it. Koala bear, which is the mothering side of it. We've got the arrow and I've got the cotton reel. I was still look at this, and I think I've said that to you, Nancy. To me, I look at this that literally someone has taken Kitty in, and that would actually tell me either like a lady or older male. The cotton reel often indicates of piecing things together, so it's like holding things together, and the muscle arm would literally tell me he's got a strong hold to Kitty. Koala bear is the mama or the nurturing side of you, and the arrow. I still think Kitty is in the living, and I look at that and say, to me, it's almost like some older male has taken Kitty in. I don't think Kitty's passed, because it's not telling me, and I'm not feeling that Kitty is passed. I think he's been actually taken in, and someone's loving her. Callie, I think it's a her. I'm not sure. I know it's Callie, but Kalleieigh, and I'm not sure if it's male Kitty or female. But I'd still look at it and say someone older male. And the reason I'm saying older male is because pipe and masculine here, muscle arm there would tell me a strong hold on them. The arrow directions mean, yes, you may try and find. But again, you got the heart in the hand, which tells me someone's loving Kitty. I don't see Kitty as dead. What do you see?
It's interesting that you say stronghold, because when I said that spirit, like the spirit feeling that was coming in,
Yeah.
the reason that I was saying that feeling is that it doesn't usually come in like this strong feeling, and it was coming in as kind of a weird feeling to me.
Yep.
Kind of coming around the other side, and it's almost it kind of feels like it does kind of feel like being held back. My feeling about it was whatever, and this has been going on for a while, is that this cat feels it's a very distant feeling.
Like he's gone a fair distance.
Yes.
Taking him a fair distance.
I'm not sure if it's like physically far, or if he's, like you said, physically unable to get back. So I don't know.
Get back home. Yeah.
Maybe in terms of what you've been feeling, in terms of feeling like, just like that your cat is feeling like there's a lot of distance there or not.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting though, because like I still don't get the feelings that Kitty's passed. I'm not getting. I keep feeling that Kitty's being taken in by someone who doesn't want to let Kitty go.
I just like, just in my head, it just feels like he's run so far away, or he's so far away. And that's not uncommon for cats. I mean, I don't know that much about cats, but I do know that when they travel, or that they can travel quite some distance.
Yeah.
But then, if they're picked up or something. But people do tend to pick them up and then think that they're strays, and then keep them in the house. Is this a cat with long hair, or like double coated? I'm thinking like hair like this long, kind of like double coated, like a gray.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Mousy brown type coat. I'm just wondering if I'm thinking of the right cat. But I have from the universe as your back deck is I choose love, or what?
Yeah.
Sure. Interesting.
Yeah.
Been gone.
I just want to.
But would he have like double coated or kind of matted hair that would be about this long or so now that he's been gone?
It's Nancy's a short hair. Yeah, she says she's a short-haired cat. Yeah. 12 years old, but never been out. So she's an indoor kitty like mine. I've got one of my kitties, Princess, Miss Fat Mummy Cat. I can open the door and she actually follows and walks right beside me like a dog. She's more a cat dog, not a cat. And but my other one, Dolly, she gets out, she'll be gone up over a fence and a tree in a flash. So they're so different in nature. But yeah, I just keep feeling someone's caring for her.
Yeah,
So
well, the cat wouldn't have matted hair with you, but if it's been out,
no,
but if it's
no.
been out in the wild for I don't know how long now, then I'm just wondering I'm just wondering whose cat, like where I'm getting this image of the cat. I mean, it kind of reminds me of Karen's cat.
I was just going to
Not,
say, you're not picking
not
up mine.
with the hair not that long.
Yeah, so you could be picking up on mine because look where mine is.
I'm wondering.
I've got one there, and the other one's she was under the chair. Yeah, and this is fat mummy princess with long hair, and she's beside me. There you go.
Nancy, are you in a cold climate?
Nancy lives in Canada.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now
She's on the east side too.
yeah. See, now that's where people they see a cat outside in the winter and they go, "Oh, poor kitty," and come in, and then the next thing you know, it's not misery, as in not like not anything bad, but just like,
Yeah.
oh, you're my kitty, and it's like I'm gonna hug you and love you and call you George,
Yeah.
and keep you in the
Yeah.
winter.
Yeah.
But I just feel so distant. He just feels so distant.
That someone else is taking them. I'm just, like I said, grabbing questions, and I'll let you have a look at this one, Wilma. Camilla, will Eugene apologise? He's a male friend. Because if he doesn't, she's ready to kick his butt to the curb. So yeah, she's asking, will Eugene apologise?
Okay,
So we're just topping and tailing, guys. So either one of us, we're just taking random hits.
This is one of those deep breath things.
Yep.
Because like again, right now we have Mercury retrograde, and we have that stellium of planets in Aquarius, which is just it's bringing up all this drama. Everybody's at people's throats. Everybody's fighting. Everybody wants to choke a bitch.
Oh, it's hard.
Everybody is coming to the cards going, are they going to apologize? Do I need to choke a bitch? I mean, if I could make a fortune off of those questions right now. I could make a fortune off of those questions of my own right. So
I'm just grabbing my headset. I'll be back.
Just knowing that, I just like you just need to take a deep breath. Jesus, take the wheel. just hang on for a moment. Everybody's probably overreacting a little bit, but let's see what we got. I'm going to use the dice. Second house, Cancer and Jupiter. So will he apologize? Probably profusely on his knees like a whiny bitch with roses, if you're lucky and you do it right. But this goes back to don't play the fool. It's like this goes back to, it's like yeah, how do I phrase this well? If somebody's done you wrong, then you absolutely deserve an apology. But don't make them grovel. Let me just put it that way. It's like we've all done things wrong. We've all been we've all had to, be the one to apologize. So, try to think of it from the other person's point of view as well. Don't make it hard on them. Don't make them kneel on broken glass. That kind of thing. Unless they deserve it. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. And if that's the case, then it's not worth it. It's not worth putting somebody through torture. It's better to walk away and take the high road and just move on. I mean, if it's gotten that bad, then you just need to walk away, like Kelly Clarkson said. But it does look like there's some apology stuff going on here. It does look like there's some honest, sorry things going on here. There's some real emotions going on here. There's also actually some real overreaction. Jupiter and Cancer is way drama. But the second house comes naturally. So I think you two just need to kind of work it out, and you'll get back together and everything's going to work out and everything's going to like come back together, and you need to just have that heart to heart and, you know, just, but like, you know, keep your boundaries, don't lower your standards, that kind of thing. But, you know, keep everything fair, keep everything on, you know, on an equal playing field, or walk away, girlfriend. Walk away. That's what I got.
Yeah, run, or run, what do they say? Run, head
Run.
for the hills.
It's better to run than
Yeah.
thank somebody and end up in jail with a life sentence. He ain't worth it. He ain't. Like, if it's gonna be, it
Yeah.
ain't worth it.
Oh gosh. Hi Beck. Becca's here as well, and I've got Jan, Breck. I'm just trying to
Hello,
look at all
everyone.
names.
Hello, hello.
I've got Kathleen. I've got Desiree
Karen,
Roberto. I'm terrible with names. Sorry. Now, I'm just going through because I've written down a heap of questions where I'd see them up in earlier. We've got, where am I? Maya Love, M-A-Y-A, Maya or Maya, Love. She wants to know about promotion at work. So let's have a look at promotion. I'll use curiosity. And let's have a look. So I put them down in no particular order because by doing so, it's like a shuffle in itself as well. So we're looking at my love and a promotion at work. Okay, I'm actually going to start in the house of work, which is the castle. Now, I'll just also explain we have red row or burgundy row. I hope you can see this, guys. Hang on, let me just drag it over a little bit. We've got red row, green row, and blue row. Each card is numbered 1 through to 6 in the different colours, and it's what we do is card chaining. So I'm starting actually in the house of the castle because that is more about career. So, and the question is, will my husband's business succeed? We've got the ladder. The ladder does mean, yes, on the rise. I'll just put that there. And it does often indicate overcoming any issues. So it does mean stepping up, literally stepping up to the plate, which means he may need to put in a bit more work than he anticipates. So we're down to 3 blue row, which is down here. And I've got the bat, which tells me he's actually a smart man, but he does need to use it a little bit better than what he's starting out. Bats there often, when we're talking work or business, bats can literally be the shadow. So it would tell me whatever his endeavour is to start, he may have competitors, because that I can't help but sense that it's like someone else is watching him or a competitor is watching him and what he does. So we then go to position 6 is the bat, and we've only drawn 3 cards again for the chain. I look at these and say, yes, I do see success, but I think he has to actually work at it a little harder than what he anticipates. And I would also say he needs to see and remember that eyes are watching him, because yes, bat is blind, but the senses are open. And he may be oblivious to it, but he does need to also, though, be aware, be competitive, that things will work out. He hasn't got anything there that's a dead stop to say fail. I would have liked to have seen the money card come out to tell me this would multiply the dollars immediately. But looking at these, I'd say he's still got a lot of work to do, and he just needs to work a little harder at it. So I just want to have a look and hear more about the shadows, because I can't help but feel, sorry, I'm using, guys, it's my big unicorn charm kit. My unicorn, it's actually a flower pot. And hang on, I'll tell you, I need to move it up. So I just want to have a look more on what it is.
It looks like he really needs to keep his eyes open for any
Yes,
opportunity that may come available.
absolutely, with the bat. Yeah.
Because they're just hidden, and he just needs to jump at them when they come up.
It's like he knows they're there, but he's not seeing. It's a bit like that saying, can't see the forest for the trees. His charms they've brought out, I'll just bring this up and so you can, you can actually see what it is. It's actually a little book, and the book is tied up. And the book with the tie, and particularly with the heart, because I've got one book with the heart and the other one's with the key. The book again is about putting passion into what he does, but because it's tied so tightly, it's almost like it's your secret keeper. That's not a bad thing when you're starting business, because there may be things he doesn't want to literally share out to others. He's also got the geisha fan, and again, that's literally about revealing, but it's well, the word sounds bad. It's like titillation, which is almost like don't show everything that you have. He's also got a cross, and I know lots of people see a cross as bad shit, but I see a cross there is listen to the voice within, the higher self. And again, it's like he's hiding back or holding back some areas. That's okay to hold back certain areas and keep your ace cards, but have a bit more faith. He'll rise. Yeah.
When I
So,
see
what's your view?
Yeah, he's being too shy. When I see that book, it's like it's not that the opportunities aren't there. It's one of those, if you don't, it's like if you don't try or if you don't look, you're not gonna see it. Or, if you don't take the leap, you're not gonna get there. It's like the person who doesn't look for the, I just said that. But yeah, so if you're not the opportunity, you're not going to find it. It's like you're hiding behind a fan. And again, it's like there's a lot of shyness, and absolutely, you don't want to tip your hand. And I got that in the bat. You want to be not sly, but sly in a good way, and make your moves strategic. But definitely, there's confidence needed here, as well as the follow through and the get go to actually do it, and yes.
Someone's put in there lack of confidence. Someone's commented, and is it a lack of confidence?
Yeah, you should, you can. They're not going to overlook you for this. So you can. There's no reason you shouldn't try for these other things, or
spread your wings, literally. Yeah. So it's like, spread your wings. Yeah. So hang on, I'm just I'll pinch Linus's iPad.
Good point. It almost feels like it's like feeling like my wings are clipped. It's like there's nowhere to go.
Or flying blind.
Yeah. So it's like
it's like flying blind.
I didn't think there was anywhere to go. So
So no. So God, bloody YouTube. So I'm trying to sign into Linus's so I can see. Okay, let me just have a quick scroll.
That's fast. So things actually.
Sorry, I had the wrong person there. That wasn't Maya. That was where am I? Kathleen J. It was. Sorry, I got the person about the husband business. Maya Love is asking about promotion at work. So will she get a promotion at work? Now, do you want that one, Wilma?
That's the one we just did.
Oh, a promotion at work. Sorry, wrong one. I'm looking at the other. I've got the names around the wrong way. Kathleen J.
So now
about a husband. Did I just say no? I just said about a husband's new business.
Down.
Yeah, no, I'm scrambled. Lena, will I be happy with the move to Florida? And she's relocating from New York to Florida. So do you want to have a look at that one, Wilma?
Considering I just made the flying monkey sound.
Yeah, my screen keeps chopping up. Lovely internet we have here, not in Australia. So,
Let's bring it.
yeah. So how will she go with her move?
Let's see. Let's bring out
Lena.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
card.
you bring out your charm thing. I forgot about that.
So let's see how this goes. And I'll just throw a few charms and we'll
Yeah,
see.
move from New York to Florida.
That's number
Is Florida's where it's nice and warm? Is that right?
correct.
Ah.
Move.
So here it'd be like moving from Melbourne to Queensland, where it's lovely and warm, but
Ooh.
Melbourne's really cold.
Okay. So this is interesting. The dolphins on fish, that's not surprising. The sand dollar on heart, not surprising. Money on mask is also not surprising. It's probably going to cost you a little more than you're expecting. Interestingly enough, people expect Florida to be cheap, so I don't know exactly where you're moving. But there may be some hidden expenses with your move that you're not expecting, or you may find that you want to spend a little more money or upgrade when you get there. And again, with the tunnel or the bridge, this is in between the four symbols: man, mask, scales, and ship. So scales and ship, again, this speaks of the move. The scales speak of the legal matters. Yeah, I'm gonna stay with the legal matters. Regards to ship,
Like work-life balance?
yeah, it's like you could say the balance, but I mean, I'm sticking with the financial and the legal matters in terms of as well as the long term, how things play out with money. It looks like it's going to cost more than expected. The guitar string again,
which we don't like.
well, I mean, it happens. I think there's going to be an upgrade.
Yeah.
So you may want to look into things, make sure you, double check, triple check what you're doing before you get there. I'm always into, quadruple checking, having plan A through C through D. And then you've got strings on monkey. So this again reminds me of the monkey card where he's the organ grinder, where he's got multiple things going on. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for you. So if multitasking is a good thing, then this could work out good. If it's not, then it sounds like you're going to be busy. Me versus me on tower. Again, this could be good or bad. This does look like going back to scales, like there's a bit of a push-pull power dynamic, a bit of a love-hate type thing. The sand dollar looks like you're really going to love the environment. I mean, there's a lot going on. The fish and the dolphins. I see a lot going on. The general shape of this coin just reminds me of that kind of Florida beach weather. So that environment just feels really good. But the financial and the business aspect of it feels a little shifty, or feels like there's still something not quite solid about it. There's something that still needs to be worked out. Looking at mountain, this is where the challenges lie, is the book. So again, this shows that there's still something yet to be revealed, and still some matters, paperwork, legal things, etc., that might need to be gone over. I would again go over those details very carefully. Make sure that you have all your ducks in a row. Accountants, financial people, etc., are all on board, etc. Fish, dolphins on fish, I kind of consider this a double whammy. So going back to looking at the financials, make sure that you're stockpiling that money, the finances are where that they want to be, because this hanged man is here. And this is what I consider to be the most painful charm in my collection. This is not necessarily, it is not necessarily, you know, the be all end all, oh my God, everything's going to suck. I've always said that moves, divorces, and deaths are the most stressful things in life. If you go into that with that mindset, knowing that moves are stressful, and you prepare for it in that way, you can save yourself a lot of stress. If you know, if you go into it thinking that everything's going to be lollipops, then you're forgetting about the landmines. Then you're probably going to be a little disappointed. So, you know, save your pennies for a rainy day, and you can probably avoid the pitfalls. I think of this guy as Pitfall Harry, which kind of makes sense when you're thinking about crocodiles. So literally, you know, just keep your survival kit so that you can jump over the croc, you know, so you can literally jump. Look at the, this is why I love charms, because I love playing with toys, and they give me like little toys and like little stories to play with. So you got Pitfall Harry, and you've got your survival kit, and any challenge that you come across, you can literally go and then jump over the challenge and like get over it, and then you'll be like, aha, yay! I've got it. To my last charm, which is the Karma on Angel, and this is what's really, really cool. Because if you're prepared for it and you're like, haha, and then you can go screw you, like whatever stress is on your way, if you're prepared for it, and then you're like, I've got the universe on my side. And then like you're dealing with all these challenges again, you can laugh and be like, haha, I've got the money for the tolls. And then you just like fork it over and you're like, I've got exact change, bitch. So like, and then you're, and then so again, is where you're like taking the monkey and you're like, da 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 da. And then you just like, you know, you make the best of it. So that's what I've got. What do you have, Karen?
Yeah, I can say the same thing. The same thing there with the hangman, and you're jumping across any obstacles. I exactly what you can do, what you can see. So it's getting through just the challenges. But I see it not too bad. It's like having the strength to do the challenge. The fish is a great abundance and good luck symbol. Even though it's got the hangman as your tough symbol, your fish is still good support of people, many people around too. Fish is a water symbol as well, which is about emotions. Yeah, so I think that's not a bad one.
You know that it's a peninsula. There's a lot of, it's surrounded by ocean. There's a lot of, it's all beach. It's all ocean, beach down there, and they've got a bunch of marine. They don't have SeaWorld down there, but they do have a bunch of like marine stuff. They've got like swimming dolphins. It's all dolphins and sand dollars down there, but it's literally like tourist.
Yeah.
It's like, it's very.
I've never been there, but it sounds good.
So it's all about the fish and the dolphins. It's very literal, this reading. So I think it's cool.
When it is, water.
Yeah, as long as you're prepared. But I find
I've got
still some things to work out.
Yeah, I've got this is a tough one. Betty Diva, will daughter reconnect with the family? But she doesn't live far, but she disconnected with all the family, and it's been 3 years now. That is a lengthy time, and what I'll use is, and I don't have the map, but I know where the positions are. This in my hot little hands is the new steampunk curiosity. And God, my videos are bad. It's so choppy, so all I can do is apologise because of the shitty internet that we have here. So it's really about what are we doing, or how can we assist the path to try and reconnect to her. It is a long time. So let's have a look. I'm just going to lay them down. Like I said, I don't have the mats yet. The mats are coming hopefully later today. So like I said, I'm reading on my imaginary houses. Right, now hang on, let me just be a Virgo and straighten these all up. I'm not a Virgo, but close enough. And I'll just start in the house of house, which is about family. Now, I'm hoping you guys will see these. Like I said, our internet is a shocker. House of the house is here, so I just want to know what we can do to support it. You've got the cross, and the crossover family, yes, would tell me some difficulties that have been there with the family, but it often means hold faith. Sometimes, yes, it can be very slow, but still there would tell me hold the faith within the family. We then go to position 2, we've got the key. That's really interesting because key means it's like opening a door or the portal. So it does tell me it's like you're holding the answers here, but don't be afraid to open that door. So 4, we're going back to the house. Wow, I can't believe we're getting short 3 cards with this. Normally I'm turning every card. You have here, yes, difficulties, but holding faith to a higher self. But don't be afraid to open the door and open the family door. You know, I'm not getting no, which, yes, it's been a long time, but I look at there will come a time when she actually does need the family. And I would say keep that door open wide. Don't shut it off. Even if that means if you've got her number, just keep sending a text now and again. How you going? We're doing X, Y, Z. It's probably the only thing you can do. So what are we also getting? I can't help but the first thing that pops into my head is there a male influence that's steering her in the wrong direction? The chess piece is, again, calculating and strategic, which it's awful. I can't help but feel there's a male behind the scenes causing other problems, and a strategic male. The tower, which is the Eiffel Tower there, which again, it does mean where you are feeling literally isolated, you may be lonely, but tower ultimately is a success sign, but very slow success sign. I can't help but feel there's a male around her that's probably feeding this issue. So what do you get, Wilma?
Well, it's interesting when you say, well, when you look at the tower and the pawn and the male sign, when I see tower and I see pawn, I see authority, and then I see the authority of the family dynamic of the patriarchy and then the child. With the male symbol, looks like 3 generations, or like almost like in tarot, king, knight, page. But I mean, you don't tarot, so I'm kind of speaking Greek to you. But now I'm gonna
well, I wouldn't know the first thing about it.
I'm gonna use my astrology deck. 4th house. I'm just gonna use this a significator card. The 4th house is all about home and family.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull 2 cards.
This astrology deck, I'm just going to butt in on you there. This astrology deck is actually a deck that Wilma has created, and it's to help numbnuts like me to learn all about astrology. So, but yeah, you can certainly message Wilma if you're interested in that.
Yeah, no,
like I said, I know nothing about it.
Yeah, this was supposed to be a, let me make sure that I don't have any. Okay, there we go. Interesting. So now, yeah, this deck was supposed to be to, it's an oracle deck you can read with, but it was also a way to, they're flashcards for astrology, and it goes over the houses, the signs, the aspects, the elements, and then there's also some flashcards. And, and then it's got, all this cool information on it, and you can look at as much information or as little information as you want. You can use them straight as flashcards. You can use them as reading cards, however you want to use them. You can lay them out to read your own birth chart, however you want them. The deck is sold out. However, I do have mini add-on kits, which is basically leftover pieces of the original deck that I'm selling off.
I love mini cards.
They won't be available until probably the end of this month into March or so, because of the way the postal is being. So we'll get into this reading, and then I can go into like what I have available. But in terms of like what's going on with the family dynamics, it's interesting, what you were saying about there's some sort of male influence, because there is some sort of a power dynamic here. Because with Scorpio, we have Gemini, biquintile Scorpio. Now, biquintile is an aspect that a lot of people don't deal with. They often won't even read it in a chart. I've included it, in my deck just because it's one of those things people want to learn about. It's a favorable thing. It's one of those. It's kind of a. It's a problem-solving thing, so it's definitely something that you want to see there. It's kind of the missing puzzle link, but it's a weird puzzle piece. It's definitely it's persuasive, and with Scorpio, it definitely has kind of a. I don't want to call it manipulative. Because, with Gemini, it's almost appealing. It kind of reminds me of the magician in tarot, or the sweet talking, the talking carnival guy who's like, step right up. So in terms of how to deal with a family dynamic that's weird, it almost reminds me of kind of tricking everybody to get together with a real pie or whatever it is the family likes to get together over, that they stop squabbling over. It's like, oh, everybody likes grandma's pie. You don't tell them that they're all going to be there. You're just like, hey, do you want to come over for a slice of grandma's pie? And you just call everybody up and you say this, and you don't tell them that everybody else is going to be there. So everybody shows up and you're like, ah! But then they're all there. And then they're all talking. It's like something like that. But there's got to be some persuasive kind of thing going on. But so it's kind of it's kind of like the smooth talking dynamic thing going on, but I want to say manipulative, but in a good way. It's kind of what I do. It's manipulative, but it's inspirational manipulation. It's manipulation, but it's not manipulation. See, manipulation is
it's the female.
It's when you take
female persuasive
something and you inspire it to go in the good direction. That's damn it! This is where I can just read it off the card. It's imaginative. It's passionate. It's idealistic. It's persistent. Yeah. Deep, and it's intense and powerful, but in magnetic, in a good way. It's organized. And then when you add that with communication.
Yeah. Wilma, Betty's.
And adaptable.
Yeah, Betty's commented, and she says, Betty commented, and she said she's been a hard child to deal with, other 3 children very close, and there was a male involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't twins, because this is, or you have the other thing about Gemini is Gemini goes from one thing to the other. So it's 1 minute everything's great, and then the next minute it's temper tantrum. So it's 1 minute we're really loving and happy, and the next minute it's why?
Yeah.
So, but Geminis also talk a lot. Right now, I've been a whole Gemini thing all night, but they're very dualistic and undisciplined. But again, you can use this detail-oriented, the imaginative. They're both have desire and energy. And you put this together with this problem solving thing, and you just need to play Pictionary together, basically.
Yes. Now I've got, where am I? Belinda Watts is asking about general and will things get better? I've just pulled out one of the casting sheets that I have, and it's really is a good one for general. And with my charms, you actually get 10 free casting sheets. I can't remember if this one's in it because Linus deals with that. So this one has all areas of your life, and I'm going to grab a couple of charms for each section when we are looking at general. So just at random. Yeah. Okay. Okay, where are we going? Magician's hat. So dice, we've got. Like I said, I've got everything in here. You'd be surprised the amount of charms I've got. I'll start clockwise and I'll work around. And this is for Belinda Watts. Finances and money. We've got the letter A. Now, letters in T symbology mean person, place, or thing. So that A could be there's either an Angela or an Alistair or an Adam or whatnot involved in and around the money matters. The A is also the first letter of the alphabet, being a number 1, which means stand tall and control what you are doing with your money. And you've also got the dream zipper pull. I'll just see if I can bring that up to show you without moving too much. Hopefully it hasn't moved them too much. So you can get a better view or a snapshot there. I can't hold it that long though, but I just thought I'd so you can see it. Career and business. Oh, sorry, the A with the word dream. Dream there in money, which literally would tell me, it's almost like create a vision board and keep telling yourself about that dream house, dream car, dream location, or the prosperity and stuff that you are looking for. So A is, yes, either a person, place, or thing, but be strong and stand and hold your own, but particularly focus on those dreams. Your career or business end, you've actually got the clock and the tower. Those two combined literally tell me be patient with what you are doing with career, because the clock is ticking, which is almost like is time running out for you in where you currently are or what you currently do. And a tower would still tell me shoot higher than what you might be doing. But the clock there is also slow things down a little, because it's like things are traveling or moving around you too fast. These are really interesting on the section of oneself, which means what you are doing yourself. And the first thing you've got is moon and gun. And the moon is your emotions. And the gun there, I can't help but see stop self-sabotaging, because then straight away, it's almost like you're literally holding a gun to your own head, where no one else probably is taking a look at that. So I'd look at that and say, stop being overcritical and stop self-sabotaging what your thought processes are. Moon is your emotions, and it is a light source, which literally would tell me focus on the light, not focus on what is negative, because there it's like, yeah, stop shooting yourself literally in the foot. You've got here partner or potential partner, and the reason that I've named it there, it's for people who may be single or people who already have a partner. Handcuffs there would tell me where you're feeling a little bit restricted. Now, if you have a partner, handcuffs there is like you're feeling a little shackled. What is it that you need to break free from? If you are looking for a partner, I would look at that and say, don't allow anyone who is controlling or dominant to literally take away all your power, because it's almost like feeling caught, like you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. I just want to draw another one on that, because that is a really tough symbol. What have we got here? Oh, we've got the sailboat.
Oh,
and
on the partner one, just sexy back.
Sorry, that again?
On the partner one with the handcuffs, just bring sexy back. It looks a little stale there.
Oh, yeah.
And just
yep. Kink it up a bit. Yeah, it can be, literally.
stale and kind of like tied to the same thing over and over, and like do something new.
Yeah, true. And your sailboat, or it's almost like a windsurfer. It's like a surfboard, but no, it's a sailboat. Yeah, it's a boat. And the sailboats are different to just a standard ship. Sailboat there would tell me float freely and peacefully. Health and well-being, you've got the dress symbol, which is female orientated, and you've actually got the compass, and the compass is literally knowing your direction that you are going. With a female symbol on there being the dress, I can't help but look at that and say concentrate on female areas on your health and well-being, which can be literally, are we carrying too much weight in all our legs and our hip area, our butt, because it can be all the areas of a woman, and we carry weight tend to be more bottom half. Even with the female symbol there would tell me look into the reproductive area, but also breast, which are the most common areas with health and well-being for women. But your compass here would still tell me you know what to do, so how about starting to do it? Sorry, that sounds really blunt. You've got children or the inner child, and again, I've worded it as in whether you have children or whether you are looking at the inner child yourself. The fairy there would tell me literally looking at your own inner child, because it means what was the dreams, what was the magic, what was the light-hearted things that you looked at. Fairies, some people say the fays or the fairies are real. And it doesn't really matter whether you think they are or they're not. That's Tinkerbell, which is again the good fairy. You've also got the magician's hat, and I'll bring this up. It's actually the hat with his wand, and the magician there would tell me again, look at the magic within. Because I'd say, look at the inner child, and it doesn't matter whether you've got children, they would tell me focus on the inner child because magic is actually brewing up for you. In the romance stakes, you've got the tea kettle or teapot, and you've got the dice, and the dice is actually on number 5. Now, number 5 is about change. It is the heart or the centre in a numerology grid, and it there would tell me stop procrastinating about things with love and put some action into it. It's kind of funny when we look at that, when we're going down here to partner, where Wilma saying sex it up a bit. Because there it tells me you need better communication, but again, it needs some change, which means shift some things around a bit, be a little bit more adaptive and be a little bit more adventurous in what you're doing in your love life. The home and family, this is an interesting chart because it actually says me versus me. Now, me versus me again comes down to why are you beating yourself up? Because there again, it's like you keep judging yourself or criticizing yourself because it's like the war within. And home and family, you've got here your rainbow come through the clouds, which indicates what is negative or where you feel like there is shadow. You've got rainbow, which tells me look at all the positives there that you do have in around family. But again, me versus me comes right back to here. Stop questioning yourself and stop self-sabotaging, because there I'd say you are the worst judge of yourself, where no one else is judging you, only you. So Wilma, what do you add to that?
Yeah, absolutely. If you see that, you can see that repeating with the above, the shackles repeating and the stale thing going on, and then the me versus me, with the self-criticism. Absolutely, with the gun and the emotions. Absolutely, same thing. I was getting the self up, and you're your own self-critic. The me versus me, I was getting the same thing.
Yeah.
Slightly different phrasing. It was you're standing in your own way. It was like, why are you
Yes.
in your own way? The other thing
Yes.
to add is that the 5 in one of the playing card systems that I work with is also kind of stands for the body. Is
Yes.
human hands are for the human body, which relates also back to the handcuffs. So bringing it back and kind of going
It
back
is. It's interesting.
I'll go back to
Yeah. Belinda, do you have a partner? I just want to ask her, because I know it's about a 10-second day. So, do you have a partner, Belinda, or are you a single girl?
You can still wrap your own hands up and take your own breath away.
Oh, yeah, why not? So, but yeah, it's just interesting. I want to see if there was a partner there. So, I'm just writing down other questions here, guys.
You can maybe to explore your own.
Yeah. Rhonda's telling us this is way better than housework. I have to agree. I hate housework.
Well,
when I was lucky, I missed someone doing my housework.
If we're gonna, well, let's not. If we're gonna talk about romance and housework, then oh my goodness, I'm gonna get all flushed. We can talk about Dysons, and we're gonna I'm getting so romance like.
Oh dear.
I was like, I'll open new horizons for you.
Yeah.
You'll be happy with a Hoover. No, you need a Dyson. Roombas, we've got jumper cards, and you see, I'll tell you, it's the heart. See, I'll tell you, I'm getting flushed. Okay, what else do we have, Karen?
We have Sharon Saylor, who's wanting a general reading. So again, in all the areas.
Even cards are telling me to stop before I make people blush. I was just like, this is like, you think that, oh my goodness, this is good.
Oh, I don't think we're girls. I don't think people will mind if we talk smutty. We're bad at that.
I'll get out the Good Vibrations catalog right now. It's just like, oh, we will go.
So yeah, Sharon Saylor wants a general.
See, look at that. Look at that. See, but then I'd have to get the fifth. No, see, where's the deck? It's like, if we're going to talk smutty, we got to get that deck out.
Yeah, do you want to do Sharon's general then? I'll let you have a look at that one.
Absolutely. All right. Sharon, your general. Actually, you know what? For your general, even though I've got my beautiful cards, so the mini kits I'm going to have available are elements. I'm going to have signs, houses, and aspects. Mini cards, as well as notes, and there's 16 things of notes. But what I'm going to do for you for your general, if I can find the mat, of course, like the one thing that is, where is it? Yeah, see, both of them, I have two different versions of this mat, but of course they're the one. It's the one mat that's a little harder for me to reach. Give me a moment. So, Karen, if you want to show them one of your new decks, I grab this from my drawer. Or not, because here it is. Okay, you don't get to show them something pretty.
Are you a lift-up desk? I'm jealous.
This is the general reading mat that I like to use.
Oh,
Karen,
yes, it is brilliant for that.
But when it comes to general reading, I think this is my general reading. It's all the areas of your house. It's astrology. But again, it's going to it gives you a general. It'll teach you astrology without knowing anything. You don't have to learn anything if you don't want to. It's all.
And this, I've got the other side of what it looks like.
It's all the areas of your house, but all the areas of your life. Yeah, so she can show you the other side. I'm sorry, who's this for?
I've got the other side.
Yeah.
Sharon Saylor.
Sharon Saylor. All right, general reading for Sharon Saylor. All right, so Karen's probably going to smack me. I've already got too many charms in my hand. All right, so.
Oh, look. Yeah.
And I just want to see for timing. I'm going to put some over here. All right, so over here. So in terms of like things that you need to look forward to, I just threw some. I'm just doing my own thing. This is something I've never done before, but just the symbols on the outside of the mat that you can't see because I've got the mat moved over. See if we can do this.
Yeah.
But they've got
There's some
outside of the mat. They're just background symbols.
Yeah. There's a lot of symbols around the edges.
And I threw them on.
But they were put there for a reason.
I threw them there, but I just threw this charm here as just something to look forward to. And it's the okay, help me, I'm tongue tied. The cup, the championship, the
trophy.
The trophy, thank you.
Trophy.
So, I mean, hello, winner, chicken dinner. Who doesn't want to look forward to that? So buy yourself a lot of. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to win big, but if you do win $1 million, I want to cover that, please. There's a donation button on my website. We'll find out later.
And me too.
Oh. But seriously, get yourself a scratch ticket because, but, it looks like there's something like ding, ding, ding. Like there's something good, looking forward. So looking at all the different aspects of your house, timing wise, I would, not jump too quickly. And that's good. You have the Aquarius charm and the Libra charm. Now, I was not trying to throw too much astrology going on here, but, we just happen to get astrology charms coming out here. Libra is all about balance, acting in balance. And so with timing, I would say, think about things, go a little slower, maybe not talk quite as fast as I am. And then Aquarius tends to be really quick, like I am right now. So again, me would warn against take the bright ideas, but think twice about them, go over them twice, maybe take them to a higher authority or run them through somebody else for a second opinion. Now in home matters, the fourth house. The fourth house is Cancer's house. It's the house of home and family. It's emotional. It's very, it's your personal foundations, stuff like that. You have the camera charm. So it's go ahead and document things. Make sure that you're, this kind of reminds me of going through family history or taking stock of things, maybe even doing shadow work. I'm saying a lot. I noticed that I've been doing that on live videos, and I think it's because I'm thinking and letting the messages flow through.
It's all the information's coming out at once.
I tend to be overly critical about that. There we go again. But it's
so you're the me versus me.
Exactly. I was just going to reflect on in the last reading. But in this context, I think it's very important because these messages are coming, and so you have to take them to let them through. But this does remind me of family archiving, taking a minute to cherish the family, because this is literally family archiving. It also reminds me of going through the family stuff. The fifth house, entertainment, children, things like this. Again, this reflects back on the, home and family. I'm also kind of ditzy, so that relates to it as well. But this
Sharon says she is doing shadow work.
There we go.
She is doing shadow work.
And I'm sure you're doing stuff with your childhood. This goes back to childhood. The fifth house works on childhood. It also works on play. And you have the broom here. The broom works on literal banishing, clearing, all that stuff. There I am playing with my toys again. But you have the clearing, the banishing, the cleaning, and that's keys. So when you're talking about doing shadow work, to me, this relates to work. And so that's very important. And we've talked about this before. When you're looking at things, you're relating your symbols back to one another, and you're on the right track when you can relate everything back to one another. And when we're talking about shadow work, what do you have to work with? You have the maze. The maze in the second house, the house of foundations, or what you have to work with, self-esteem, things like this. It's literally putting yourself back together. It kind of reminds me of shamanic soul retrieval. I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah.
So your shadow work, you're doing the right thing. This is meditation. It's putting things back in order. It's walking the labyrinth. That's what it is. It's walking that labyrinth. It's order lines. So getting things back in order, and this is very, very important, very crucial. Libra, this is so awesome. What a great reading. I can't remember if these keys were on the line before or not. Karen, you might be able to remind me or tell me. I think they were.
When they're on a line, you look at both.
Right. Were
when
they
on the line, you look at both houses.
Were they, or did I move them? I think they were on the line. I can't remember if I moved them because I play with them.
Yeah. No,
Right.
I don't think. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I would look at both lines.
I think they were, and if they weren't, I'm going to say that they are now, and that's important because the sixth house again is about. It's not only about your day-to-day goings on, but it's also about health. So again, relating this back to already know that you're doing shadow work. I'm going to say that following your health and following, because Virgo is all about structure, that following that structure, following our movement, and following and being mindful of your health is very important and very key. Libra and relationships, working out specifically, for some reason, this the word codependent comes to mind. Working out issues of codependence. Pertho is a rune, goes between the worlds. It's very spiritual natured. So again, this is an opportunity to their talents, but it's also a way to, for me, it just comes through as cutting cords. So I don't know if it makes sense to you, but it's like, because this is a house of co-creation and partnerships, whether it's legal, it's just one-on-one partnerships and one-on-one relationships, whether it's best friend relationships. And this is a time to take stock in your relationships one-on-one with other people, whether they're healthy or toxic, and cut those cords and strengthen the ones that need to be in your life.
Yeah.
The lollipop, right on the line of 8th and 9th house. Really enjoy and take time to savor. For me, this is like the Tootsie Pop. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? It takes time to get to the good stuff. And the 9th house is about higher education. It's about our spiritual journeys. The 8th house, again, it's about that deep soul searching. This is literally the house of shadow work. So it takes a little while, but we get these little nibbles. So to me, it says don't go too fast, especially if you're getting somewhere. Enjoy what you have. Take it off in small little bites. Savor it, especially if it's sweet. Don't eat too much too quick. It may come across as, oh, this is really good, I need to do more. But you don't want to get a tummy ache, especially a spiritual tummy ache. And just, if you're feeling like it's not going fast enough, that's okay too. Just remember, it takes a while to get to that center. And, so you just got to keep working at it. But the good stuff comes with the working, and don't bite the damn lollipop. That's how you break your teeth. So slow and steady wins the race.
Oh gosh, that's like me.
Yeah. Really big reading. I'm going to talk fast and get it to it quick. You've got to get to the bones of the matter in Capricorn when it comes to this is career and finances. This looks a little unemployment-ish or having to save your money. This is technically a cocktail, but I read it as the canes. So I'm going to use that as a dual thing, especially since we have the fish bones. So I would say save your money for a rainy day. Do enjoy your cocktails, splurge if you need to, like get yourself that one good present, that feel good thing. If it's going to help motivate you to where you need to go, if it's going to help propel you and give you the confidence to go where you want to go for it. But do save your money for a rainy day and make sure that everything's worth it. 11th house. Don't socialize too much. Stay to yourself. Again, I don't know why this charm is coming up so much. We have like the worst charm in my collection. It's not
Which
surprising.
I'm a hangmat.
Considering we're in the middle of a pandemic, it does not surprise me. I don't know if it's bothering you that there's a lot of social isolation now. Bothers everybody. Make the most of it. Zoom, do what you can. Definitely stay home. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. I know it's hard. I know, like, you get to that point where you just want to break free and you want to take those chances. It's not worth it. I often find myself wanting to take those chances, and it's like, would I have taken the same chance with HIV? And yet I feel like in some ways my chances of having a more serious reaction now is greater than my chance of running into a person with HIV then. So go figure. And now I don't know if that's your personal view, but that's my own personal problem with, or my own personal issues with my own health. And yet my own choice, I find myself being lax at times, and I have to check myself. So check yourself. Do what you can, follow your mental health, find some, help if you need it. But everybody's going through the crisis. We will get through this one way or another. We will find a way. Lastly, Pisces, find some woman support. Lean on your feminine side, lean on other women, and go through your closet. So again, for like shadow work, keep pulling everything out of your closet. I love this charm so much. But go through your closet, literally clean out your closet in a literal sense, but also go through your closet, pretty up things, do things to make yourself feel good, and rely and support other women, and find other women to support you, because Pisces is about spirituality and healing. So it reminds me of women healing circles, things like that. And that's what I've got. And I'm going to end this reading because that was huge. Whew.
That is a big one. That's what I mean. You would not realise until you have a few charms there. Most people think they need a handful, and you really don't. That gives very big readings, so which is really, really good. So I have sorry, Del.
Mini reads, huh?
I've got Jan Beck, who they're mini reads. Jan Beck wanted to know what the year 5 holds ahead for her, which we are in a year 5. And the way we know we're in a year 5, it is the 2021. So it's the 2 plus the 0 is nothing, then 2 and the 1. So we add up to a year a 5, a year 5. But in numerology, you do look at the breakdown of the actual numbers, and I'll write this down here for you, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing. The 2, when we see a 0 after a number, and it wouldn't matter whether that was, say, 2 after there, or even if it was 2010, you'd have your 0 after it. The 0, I always say, it's an amplifier. So think of it like a magnifying glass, and the magnifying glass has to look at the 2 of where we started. And the 2 is often about a union, something that's agreeable, it's communication. But on its negative, it can be really, really oversensitive, and sometimes really unrealistic. So, but we're looking at that. So we're working through the 2, then we've got another 2. So the 2 and the 2 there is 4, which we had in 2020. So last year in 2020, it was a lot about 2 things: balance, equality, but also finding your feet, because 4 would have been the grounding. But the 2021 equals the 5, and that means where we are putting things in place. It means get going on with it. Stop sitting on your butt. And it means adaptability. Sometimes it can be like me, where you say, Linus always says, I've got ants in my pants because I don't sit still and I struggle to sit still. But it's this constant change. So a year 5 here is about lots of changes for each and every one of us, and action the changes. So I've got here the 50 Shades, which is the sexy deck. And I don't know why, it just ended up getting its name as a sexy deck, and that's probably because of all the deep red and the black and so on. And this is just a favourite way I lay out cards when I'm doing short reads. And the first card here is often about the topic, the centre of what's going on for you for a year 5. These 3 here tell us more information about this one. And these 2 here are basically an outcome card. So I'm just going to have a look here. Mouse. So the mouse there sets a theme, which tells me lots of silly little stresses. And it often means the most ridiculous stresses that really don't require any energy. I often look at mouse and it's like you are, again, ants in your pants, can't sit still, constantly worrying over watching paint dry. So a mouse often comes up when I say, don't sweat the small stuff. Let the small stuff go. So give us more information about this small stuff. So we've got eagle, the teapot, and the key. Interesting, because your eagle is about season opportunities, and often the eagle, the easiest way to explain it is literally if you're looking at a field and you're seeing an eagle 2 miles in the air, but they are circling, and it means they know what's on the ground, they know where that mouse is, literally in the cornfield, and they will go at great lengths. So their sharp, keen senses know exactly when to go for the throat, and that sounds really ruthless, but it means there's quit circling, seize opportunities. The teapot or the kettle, it's one of them beautiful cast iron teapots. The teapot is about free and open speech, but usually in a bit of a small gathering. So again, it's very small gatherings, guys, with COVID, which is only 2 or 3, and make sure they're in your safety bubble. I can't stress that enough. But there would tell me, again, some decent people where you can open your mouth freely, and I would say you are bouncing things off them to eliminate your stress. And the key here tells me you've got many doors opening for you this year, because the key is literally your hand is on the handle. Don't be afraid to open the door. And I'd look at these and say, opportunities that are coming, stop slamming the door on opportunity, welcome them in and stop stressing about it. So what is our outcome for year 5? Oh, I do like that. Oh my God, these are great. You've got dancers. Now the dancer means good celebrations. And when I look again over here, it's like you're stressing about nothing, but there's good stuff coming where you will celebrate. The cherries actually is the sweeter or the finer things in life, which can tell me great opportunities. And cherries is never singular. It usually means 2 or more, which means good opportunities are coming up. So yes, we're in a pandemic. Yes, we're looking at social isolation and social necessities, but I still say there's things that are coming good for you in the year 5. But the biggest thing I can say here is stop over-analysing the backside out of everything and look at it. Again, me versus me charm comes up. We've got the graduate scroll, which means accepting honours, accepting things that are praise. And you've also got the leaf. It's a very old leaf, this one. All the gold's come off that. It's been beaten around too much. And the leaf actually means, again, change in seasons. Leaf is timing too, which tells me in the next season, which you guys, if you're in America, you're about to go into spring. Us here in the land of Oz, we're about to go into autumn or fall, as you guys call it in the US, which tells me changes are coming. But don't attack yourself, grab other opportunities. So I hope that helps a wee bit, but that doesn't look too bad for me.
You know, the interesting thing about what you're saying about the numerology about 2020, I'd never thought about it until you mentioned it. But the 2 2s is very significant in terms of how 2020 was the 2s. It was really very significant. It was all about we really needed to help each other, and we had to work with each other.
It is. 2's about the unions.
And we had to work together.
It's support.
Help each other. And how that didn't happen. And how in this year, doing that is going to help us move forward.
It is, because your two is about consideration, unions, communication, you know, and being supportive. Then you've got your 2 plus your 2 equals 4, and that is the base, your grounding, your practicalities. And again, it often means problem solving.
And it's literally the home, which we're
exactly, yeah, because of the base.
We're learning all about foundations and we're learning all about foundational skills again. We're learning how to work from home and doing things from home. But we're also, we're increasing in a good way, telehealth, how to do things from home in a good way, how to work from home. So it's had a positive impact on how to do things from home and all these foundational things, which is, yeah. So.
It is. I have Sharon Ford wants to know, is this a good year to start her tarot reading business? So I know nothing about tarot whatsoever, but Wilma does. So yes, is this a good year to start reading or opening up her tarot business? So do you want to look at that one?
How about which
it's Sharon Ford, and I'm not sure if Sharon's still with us or not, but yeah, she's wanting to know about starting her tarot business.
All right, let's grab the. We can use whatever system we want, but I'm going to grab the transparent tarot since we are looking at tarot. Let's see what tarot has to say about tarot. I have heard a lot of
yeah, because I wouldn't know anything about tarot.
Lucrative time, the pandemic.
Yeah.
Mercury rate has not been a good.
You need this. You need this tarot on a white background, because this tarot, even me not as a tarot reader, this tarot is amazing. And even though I can't read tarot, I would actually look at this deck.
I'm sorry, can you give me that name one more time, please?
Does it shuffle nicely?
It does.
I was going to say, I love this tarot deck. Does it shuffle? Does it shuffle nicely?
It does. It's like butter. The one thing about it is that when you get the card,
because of the plastic.
I told you about it. It comes as, and people complained about it, but it's what happens when you print on, and Lynn has told you that it's what happens when you print on plastic, is that it comes like a brick, and the
print on plastic, yeah.
They're kind of greasy, and you have to wash them.
Yes.
People were very
soapy water, not soapy water, not anything with a stripping agent.
Right, very mild soapy water, and then you have to dry them with a towel. So it is quite a labor of love. But I looked at
Put them on a cookie rack.
I looked at it as a way to get to know and to bond with each card. And I looked at it, instead of getting frustrated with it, looking at this is just part of what happens or has to happen because of the printing process of being on plastic. So,
yes.
And that's just the way it is. So I'm sorry, what is her name one more time?
Hang on. Sharon Ford. Is it the year to start her tarot business? Sharon. Yeah, we got a couple of Sharons. It's Sharon Ford.
See, now, it doesn't always, it's not the best at shuffling all the time. It is a very...
Cynthia's asking Cynthia's asking what's the name of that tarot?
It's called the Transparent Tarot. It's in its second printing. But even if it doesn't shuffle perfectly, you can shuffle it any way you want to, and it can lay in a lot of different ways. So it doesn't matter how it really shuffles.
Yeah, it's layering imagery. Yeah, I love it because of layering.
I have to ask for those names because I can't see them on the screen, and I connect a little differently. It's like, you know, I don't have any connection through the screen at all. So I only have that connection through you. So it's just kind of weird, but
Yeah.
I've got her now.
Yeah. These work beautifully with tea cards too, Cynthia. We tried them out the other day. It was amazing.
So now, Sharon, I changed your question around a little bit to ask how your tarot business would do in this next year. And so far you've got 3 major arcanas. Now, one is in reverse. But to me, I think that that's okay. So now this deck is a little different in terms of how she does major arcanas, but the reason why she did it is the way the cards layer. And it's the major arcanas, being that you're a tarot person, I'm going to tell you about this. The major arcanas she did as landscapes in which the details of our lives, the minor arcana, unfold. So, if you think of it that way, that's pretty cool. So this is the Magician. So while this is a wildly different card than the Magician normally is, it shows the duality as well as that, you know, that spark of creation or coming together. And then you have, I believe this is Justice. If this isn't Justice, you're all going to laugh and be like, what kind of tarot reader is she? This should be Justice. Because I don't know. I honestly, I never learned the numbers of my major arcana. I'm dyslexic. And so, especially Roman numerals never really had much place for me. But yeah, and this deck is still new to me, but this should be Justice. But again, so it's interesting. You have the balance of the Magician, and then you have the balance of Justice. And this deck to me reads like an oracle. So I'm sorry, I don't care what the hell the cards are. I read it symbolically. So right here is just this beautiful, this is where I say, Karen, it doesn't matter if you read tarot. You're reading the symbols.
Yeah.
It's just as beautiful. And then this right here is the Empress card. And upright, you can see how she is the world. She is the earth that brings forth life, which is what, you know, the Empress is usually a pregnant lady. Now, inverted, traditionally, the Empress is not ready to bring forth life. However, in this context, I feel like the sword is piercing through like a cesarean section. And it's like, ready or not, here I come. And I feel like this balance, and it's like, whether you're ready or not, at some point you just got to do it. And so I feel like at some like that bubble's just got to burst, and you've just got to do it. So I feel like, you know, this may not necessarily be like, it's like, I don't know. I feel like you should do it because, you know, you got to branch out and do it sometime. So I'm going to add some, you know, some T symbols just to see what happens. And boom, we have a castle. Now I have a dragon here that didn't come out that I held in my hand, which to me shows, you know, again, this shows me how, you know, the creativity, the imagination that we all have. But it also shows also the fears and that we hold back and the confidence that we need. And the fact that it didn't come out shows me it's like, you know, the little bit of trepidation that there is there. The castle here shows me, though, that there is not only the natural business, but that there is an element of success that's ready to, you know, to show itself and blossom. But with the hanger, there is some hang-ups. And again, with the dragon, this, you know, this relates back to the fears, hang-ups, literally. And then the mirror, self-reflection. So to me, again, it's like, you know, look at yourself in the mirror. You know, what are your hang-ups? Where do you need to bring forth confidence? And given we're in a pandemic and, you know, what context we're looking at, that mirror to me talks about confidence and how we present ourselves to other people. Also looking at literal videos, Zoom, things like that, and practicing in front of the mirror, practicing in front of cameras, things like that, getting your confidence up, or practicing in front of real people, but just doing that whole thing, getting yourself confident in those situations, that kind of thing.
Ready to show yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. But
I've got, yeah, sorry. I've got next person, and I don't know whether she's still with us or she's gone off to bed. It's Sandy Chamberlain, who's wanting to look at March and April. So I've drawn 3 cards for each. So I'm looking here at March. Hang on, helps when I'm up the right way, doesn't it? Because I've turned them upside down. Okay. She's got ship and tree and question mark. March, ship here is, yes, often about people who own their own businesses or subcontract and so on. I can't help but feel that's like a business sign. And then you've got the tree, which would tell me a good idea to look at growth. But this is an interesting card because the question mark there, it's like where you keep pondering or you keep doubting about the change. The changes here, yes, are slow. And even if you are looking at business, you've still got growth. But here it's like the doubts, which tells me who is it that is making you feel not so confident, or is it you yourself that isn't feeling so confident about some growth here with business or slow changes. So it does look like a slow month, but there's things that are happening around you that's causing you to doubt things. We've got the angel, which means listen to higher self. We've also got tennis racket and we've got Pegasus. The tennis racket there would tell me where you keep, it's like procrastination, ball under pressure, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. The angel here would tell me literally listen to the higher self. It's time to tap into that. And angels can literally be someone who is a spirit guide or someone you may know who's crossed over. And the Pegasus is the winged horse, so the freedom, the independence, fly. It's the warrior within you, not worry as in worry like sheep. There would tell me the warrior, bring out the warrior in you, but you do need to make some decisions around any growth and so on. But this is the hardest one, which tells me stop questioning yourself or doubting what yourself. Listen to the higher voice within. So April, we have bird, ring, and baby. So it tells me there new things, new talks, new discussions around something that's precious commodity to you. The ring, often people see them automatically as marriage or as in partner. And when I say a ring, though, it often means is what is the most precious commodity to you? What is it that is valuable? It's interesting you've got the bird, which tells me new ideas or new things and your voice. So I look at these and say, April, something is coming far good, far much better than what March is, because you're questioning too many things there. But by the time April racks around, you follow bright ideas and good things that are there, and use your voice, because it's your voice is the precious commodity. What you say, how you say it, how you project it. And it's almost like the KISS principle. Keep it simple, keep it stupid. So that's what I'm getting for March, April. Anything to add, Wilma?
I was noticing the business part of it also. I was also noticing just in, the nature aspect of it. It honestly, it reminded me of springtime and just trying to, it just reminded me of just really getting out, nature watching. That bird reminded me of circles, like going in circles. It
Yep,
honestly, just
around
like
and around.
literally getting out and enjoying nature, doing what you can or doing what we can in the lockdown, which is a lot of nature.
Yeah.
But I do see that the business and financial area of it. That tree reminds me of put it on reminds me, it was like going through the attic. The ship is like going through like old stuff and, you know, getting rid of old stuff. And I don't know if there's making money in that or if it's just spring cleaning. I seem to be on a roll with that tonight. I don't know if it's just my Mercury retrograde OCD or what, but I seem to be out of that. But there's a lot of cleaning out. There's a lot of boundaries going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a theme for people, or if maybe I'm just obsessed and think that everybody needs to go through their closets. I don't know.
Over here, the charity stores aren't taking any more goods because they're full. So, and I've never ever heard of that in my lifetime. But yeah, as far as cleaning goes, I have never ever heard of that.
Well, see,
But there you have it.
that's happening here, where a lot of people are, you know, they've got the time, they're doing a lot of renovation and they're cleaning out their closets, and it's not a bad thing. But there's a lot of people out here who are filling their closets with the stuff that other people are cleaning out. So, you know, hey.
Yeah. Bad move. Now I've got Rhonda Hale, and she's just wanting a general. So do you want to do a general casting, Wilma, or do you want me?
I think if I do another general, we're going to be here for another 2 hours. So I should either limit.
Okay, well, all right. I'll do a general and, yeah, that's all right. I'll do a general and this will have to make our last within here over 2 hours, and it's too much sitting time. So we need to move. Yeah, so I'm just having...
And I almost see how long it would take me.
Yeah, so, all right, I'm looking at general here. You got the skull, and this is actually the man's skull. A lot of people get creeped out by skulls. Hang on, I'll just show you, because it actually has a mustache. And skulls, when you often see them, is about headspace or literally someone or an older male who's crossed over. So when I've got it, it's landed on key, which means pleasant surprises, again, as it says, success and new opportunities. Key there with the skull and the older male, it's almost like, are you listening to the advice from ancestors past? Because it's like they have good information to give to you, but you need to open that door to that information. We have the teapot on both the hourglass and the child. Hourglass is again about collide. I always say it's the colliding of the two worlds. And you've got between child, which is new, and then you've got the hourglass. And the reason I say the hourglass is two worlds, you have your sand or your empty bulb in the top, and then you have your sand in the bottom. The sand in the bottom is our earth world, our life world, and the bubble above us is our dreams, our wishes. And then when we turn it, we're trying to blend our dreams and wishes with our earth world. And we have here the teapot, which tells me something that you have wanted to do, as in that's in your head, in your dreams. It's time to actually start speaking your dreams. The child here would tell me you've got a lot of very good, bright ideas, and it's time to look at that with new eyes, but open up the voice, the conversation first. We have the dragon, which is a very strong power symbol, and it often means three things: fight, flight, or freeze. It's on the bell, which means making announcements, doing the shout out. So there it tells me the dragon is ready for flight. And I'd say claim your power base back, and again start shouting from the rooftops. Again, your dreams, wishes. I still say here, getting advice from an older male. Your bird in the cage, that's an interesting one because it often means your voice is feeling trapped. And it's interesting because you've got free speech here, but yet you're in the cage here. It's sitting on the castle, and the castle is often to do with your workplace or career goals. Bird trapped in the cage means you're feeling like you are restricted, and anything you want to say keeps getting shut down. Again, I keep coming back to here. Speak freely and openly. Your heart here is on the male symbol, and man symbol in old T, and we know it's not always right, but in the old days, they always saw man as the one that was the strength and the one who stepped up to the plate and progressive. But we as modern day women know that's not always true, because there's some really weak-willed men out there. But you've got the heart here, and so we do look at the traditional meaning of man. Heart there is your emotional, and then the man is your strength. So again, this will tell me you've got what it takes, but find your voice. You've got the Jolly Roger flag or the pirate flag sitting on balloon, and balloon is under pressure, and it means rise and rise gently and let stresses dissipate. The Jolly Roger there would tell me you're very aware of the surroundings, and I'd look at that and say, don't fuss too much about what others are doing, rise above it, because there it's like you're worried always about caution, who is around me, who is looking at me, who can give me stress, and so on. Your balloon's telling me rise. You've got your geisha fan here, and your geisha fan is on the mask. Both are concealment, which means you're only looking at small things instead of looking at the bigger picture. And I'd say there is focus more on what you can see in a wider vision rather than hiding behind the mask. It's interesting because your general there is a lot about you coming forward, you stepping forward. You've got whispers in your ear from older male in spirit who is telling you what to do. So I hope that helps a little bit. So again, we've only got 7 charms, big reads. Big reads. Yeah. So anything you think you can add to that on our final wrap up?
No, I think I just like to reiterate that, you know, people get freaked out by that skull, but it's really just getting to the heart of the matter. And you know, for me it's really no bones about it, things like that.
Yeah. It is. And being bones and male there, it does often mean male in spirit. Skulls are very much about headspace. And there with his handlebar moustache is like wisdom and knowledge from an older male. And it's like when I say I hear voices, most people think I'm going mad. But I hear things rather, it's like the inner voice, somebody on the shoulder, and that's just how it feels. Yeah. So, but I want to just say thanks everyone for joining us.
Oh, I was going to say skull for me is I always think with your noggin. So, you know, it's always funny, like
yes,
all these negative things, and I'm just always thinking, no, this is where your brain is. You got to think with your noggin. You got to go deep and all this other stuff. And people are more going deep
within.
But it's been great.
Very much so. Yeah, but it's been lovely to see everyone. We were hoping, but it was just bad thing for Andrea to join us. And I just want to let you know a little bit is I have a public tea with Karen page on Facebook, and we've got this amazing tea leaf reading group that, and it'll be at the bottom in the comments here, where through Facebook, where I've got 3 amazing ladies because I don't have time, and Wilma is one of those ladies, and the other lady is Andrea Jacob, and the other lady is in the UK is Lindsay Henderson, and Andrea and Wilma are in US, both on the same side of the coast, which I was hoping we could line up where you get 3 of us, but it was just a very busy day for Andrea and we were too short a notice, so hopefully next time we can get the 3 of us if we can align the stars properly. But yeah, so you've just had to suffer me and Wilma today. But we do have areas. Wilma does have her own business. She is like I said, a reader, astrologer, in all many facets of divination, and her business name is Alternative Solutions, or Wilma's Alternative Solutions. And I've had a couple of people in the chat there, Wilma, ask, what is your YouTube? Do you have a YouTube channel? And they want to know a link to it. So I can find that and I can put it in the comments as well. So,
Yeah,
but thanks everybody.
I have a YouTube. I have a business.
You've got a YouTube
page. We can edit it and put all the information in. Yeah, no, the
I
girls.
can put all that down.
In terms of us in Tea Group, we'd love to have you join us in Tea Group. All of us, us, the rowdy admins.
And it's all about symbolic.
We have a nice little gaggle of us.
We
keep things.
We do.
No, Andrea and I are on the same coast. She likes to wake up later, so she has the West Coast covered. I have the East Coast covered, and then we kind of both have the mid coast.
Yes.
The mid coast. The middle of the country.
Yes.
And Lindsay has the UK, and then Karen's
yes. And then I'm usually nighttime with the UK EU, because the nighttime for me is morning in UK and France and Germany and Italy and all along there. So there's time zones that are covered by all of us. That's why, like, I'm down under, Lindsay's UK, and Andrea and Wilma on the East Coast. So, and then Andrea's like me with shock and insomnia and keeps ungodly hours, and so that's why she covers the West as well. So, and we still get to find the magic bullet on how can we go to sleep, but we don't. So there you go. But thanks everyone anyway for joining us, and we'll put those links up shortly and I'll add them in the comments for you all.
Andrea's the social media genius. She's the marketing genius of the bunch.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. She's the voice.
I'm the early bird.
Yes. Yes, you go to bed with the chickens. Yeah. So, all right, darling. Well, I will see. Sharon Saylor's asking about the tea group. I've got a feeling the tea group is in my comments, but I will double check it when I end this broadcast, and I will put them all in the links below. So thank you all, and we will catch you again sometime.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks, replay viewers.
Bye for now. Bye.